What up, is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads? We have a very, very important episode talking about breakout running backs. And what we're defining as a breakout running back is a top 24 running back that has never done it previously. And so we're going to go through some statistics. It's going to get a little bit number heavy, I guess you could say. So if you just follow with me, trust me, I think this will give you a clear decision on 3 running backs by the end of the video of what we're going to go through. And you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to put my chips on those 3 types of players. We have a DeAndre Swift signed jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber for a chance to win. By the way, we're going to be doing this with wide receivers and tight ends as well. So stay tuned. All right. Breakout running backs. We're going to do the last 21 years of data. We love the last 21 years. Gives us a really good concrete foundation of what we're actually looking for. So again, a breakout running back, top 24 running back that has not done it previously. So the first thing we'll have to look at is draft capital. So you have round 1, round 2, round 3, and we have some charts up here that you're going to see some of this beautiful graphics over here so then you guys can follow along. 78.57. We get real down and dirty with these numbers. Breakout running backs happen when they're round 1. So what we're saying is 42 of the round 1 running backs, 33 of them at some point broke out in their career. So if they haven't done it before, they're going to do it at some point. So think of running backs that have been drafted in the first round: CEH, Travis Etienne, Rashad Penny, Najee Harris. Like, some are good, some are bad, but 33 of the last 42 running backs have broken out into that top 24 running back range. Now let's go to the second round, third round. They do dip down 47.5 and 45% of running backs in round 2 and round 3. And then it drops down a lot more when we get past round 4 and beyond. And this is for drafted running backs. So 139 of the running backs are part of this I guess you could say documentation here. And so 19 of 40 running backs in round 2 broke out at some point, and 20 of 44 running backs broke out at some point for round 3. So again, draft capital is so important. So I see the Dameon Pierce love. I see the Tyler Algier love. I see all this different love, but the chances are they're going to be much smaller. I mean, even with the Michael Carter of last year, I talked about round 4 draft capital being a big concern. Even with Kenneth Gainwell, who I loved, round 6 draft capital, again, huge concern when we talk about potential of breaking out. The odds are just not in your favor. When you have a 20 in blackjack, I always like the blackjack analogy because I do play it quite a bit. But if you have that, or if you have a pocket queens, that's going to feel a lot better than going in with a 9-8 offsuit. I mean, it's just, your chances of winning are going to be much more when you find pocket queens, when you have a 20 in blackjack. And so when you have a round 1, 2, or 3 running back, your chances are going to be better for having a breakout type running back. And so now we're going to do breakouts by age. I think that's going to be important to figure out, okay, what age are these running backs breaking out? Are they breaking out right away? Are they breaking out further along? So 60.4% of breakouts happen by age 23. So I think that's something to note, that these running backs aren't taking a long time to, they're not like the Devontae Parkers, or they're not like the Zay Joneses. I mean, very rarely do you have a running back break out so late. I mean, technically they had Cordell Patterson listed as a running back in this study. So when you have that, then technically he's a running back that breaks out super late, but it's just very, very rare. I mean, most 60.4% happen by age 23, and by age 24 you have 72.6, so 30. So this is a big year for CEH. I mean, this is honestly a ginormous year for him, because if it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen. And so that is something that we need to make sure that we have full awareness of, and we kind of already knew that this is the make or break year for him. And so again, 3/4 of running backs by the age 24, and running backs are coming out at 21, 22. So you want them to happen in the first couple of years. So the biggest thing I think that will cross some of these running backs off is 72.7, so just 0.1% more, happen within the first 2 years. So we are looking at running backs that might have a worrisome. J.K. Dobbins, he's in year 3. So we're kind of hoping against the odds there. CEH, again, he is also in year 3. So 2 running backs that don't fit the bill. And I told you that I was going to find 3 running backs that actually fit this perfectly, all these different things. So 72.7%. So if it doesn't happen within 24 months, it's not going to probably happen. And so we have to understand that. And so that's a big concern for somebody who likes J.K. Dobbins. I know one of his years is pretty much injury gone. So I would say that this is potentially the year for J.K. Dobbins, but I guess statistics would say otherwise. So I'm holding out hope. CEH, for somebody that I like as an high-end RB3, low-end RB2. I mean, the concerns are that, he's going to have to be against the odds here. He's going to have to be the 27.3% chance. The 3 running backs, we're going to go 3, and I love them in redraft. I love them in Dynasty. They're like 3 of my favorite running backs. Number 1, Breece Hall. Breece Hall is a second-round running back, but if you almost look at the draft capital adjusted ratio that it has been lately, there was running backs that were always drafted in the first round. Now it seems like it's being less and less and less, and now it's the early second feels like a first-round pick. And so Breece Hall being the number 1 running back off the board, the most talented by far running back of this class, and in a situation where he is going to have a ton of snap share, he's going to have a ton of volume, I believe, in that offense. They're going to really rely on him. He is the number 1 breakout here, and he follows every single category here as well. You look at, he's round 2 draft capital, but really, you could we'll have to do a video of where round 2s feel like round 1s and see what the comparison has been lately, maybe even like the first 10, 15 picks. Also do some research and see if there's anything out there like that. The first 10, 15 picks of like the last 4 years compared to round 1 running backs, how they succeed. But Breece Hall, his adjusted rate and his efficiency and how he dominated the Big 12, it reminds me a lot of Jonathan Taylor production-wise. And if you can get Jonathan Taylor production-wise, I think Breece Hall is going to be that guy that it might even start off even a little slow, and you're going to have a dominating running back the second half of fantasy. And that's why I love him in the 4th round. If I can get him in that 3rd, 4th round, the end of the 3rd, early 4th round in redraft, I am easily taking that. In Dynasty, you're talking about a top 6 running back already, and he hasn't even touched the field, which is kind of scary, but that's what you have to do. The next one's Javonte Williams. We love Javonte, and I think you're starting to see Melvin Gordon say, hey, I'm more of the plan B, or I'm more of option B, and I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. I think you're going to see that classic Mark Ingram in Baltimore. I think you're going to see the classic, I would say Marlon Mack of Colts, but he got hurt. You're going to see the classic veteran running back that's going to slowly start to dissipate and move out of the frame when we start getting into the second half. And I think Javonte Williams is a lock, if healthy, a lock for a top 24. And this is going to be the breakout season for Javonte. I love him. I absolutely love him. He's also in that category with Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, dynasty-wise, where he's a top 6-7 running back. And it's really hard to argue against that. I think that's pretty obvious there. But Javonte is an amazing running back talent-wise. And I just see him. You saw the one game that he got to be by himself. And he was running over Kansas City and catching balls, too. That he's a very exceptional pass catcher for how big and strong of a running back he is. The last one we're going to talk about is Travis Etienne. And so Travis Etienne, again, lost his whole rookie season. But he's with Trevor Lawrence. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a lot of pass, dump-off work to Travis Etienne. I know Travis Etienne has been up and down in his receiving career, but I see him still being that flash in the pan. I see him still being that exceptional acceleration, the quickness, and, really his 0 to 60 straight line stuff, too. It's not Chris Johnson-esque, but, it's close. It's the closest thing that we've seen where literally he turns a corner and he could be gone. Or he hits a hole and all of a sudden the safeties they're like, man, I took the right angle, but I just can't get him. And that's what Travis Etienne provides. Again, he's a little bit more boomer bust, but I love him as potentially being a breakout here. So top 24, these are 3 running backs. We're going to go through some wide receivers, some tight ends as well that we believe that will be breakouts for the upcoming 2022 season. I almost said 2023. All 2022 seasons. Peace out. Take care. We'll see you guys soon.